Russ, for about the last 20 years, dog parks have become commonplace here in Clark County. Pretty much any new park we build, there's a dog park like this involved. Give our viewers some tips of how to make their dog park experience a better one.
Well, I think honestly a lot of different things is knowing your actual dog, whether that be the age of the dog to, you know, how large the size of the dog is, how well trained they may be in certain situations, because we recommend, especially for those who maybe just adopted a dog or are new dog owners, we would strongly suggest to actually come to the dog park that you would wish to bring your dog to and actually check it out and explore and see what it actually looks like itself. Then what we would suggest would be to, if you're bringing out your dogs, even if you've been a dog owner for years, if it's to a new environment, we recommend trying to keep your visit time as short as possible. Then as the dog becomes familiarized with the actual property itself, then this way they can continue to extend your visits. So this way it's more of a fun, friendly, safe environment here. We also, obviously, we suggest also just for safety to always try to keep your dog on a leash, or at least have a leash in hand. So that's what we would suggest.
And actually that is even our law then. We just saw a dog owner come in here, you leash your dog from your car to the dog park, and then of course that's the benefit of taking your dog off leash into these dog parks, right?
That's correct, yes, because like I said, if you can obviously, we're at the Desert Breeze Park, for instance, there are different zones that we have here. So obviously we have a zone area for small dogs, medium-sized dogs, large-sized dogs.
The dog get more exercise besides being on a leash, because you know sometimes we may like go on a walk and we're like, oh, let's just go down the block, okay, let's go back home. This way they can kind of, you know, get their full exercise in, and you know it's fun for them, you know, and I guess you get to socialize and meet other animals, other pet owners, play dates.
I like to see different dogs. I also like to, you know, pet them if they want me to pet them, of course. And then for them, it's like they're meeting new friends every day.
What's good about keeping your dog on a leash too is, especially before you enter the park, is, you know, obviously we have cars that try to park through. People may or may not see where they're going. So it's a good thing to keep not only other dogs safe, but your dog safe as well.
Most of our county dog parks have a double gate like we see right behind here. What's the benefit of those? Explain how this works.
Well, I think it would pretty much basically imagine it's kind of like a solid barrier, because this way, once you actually get your dog into the zone area here, if you need to actually double check to make sure your dog has been leashed properly, depending on now that you're kind of getting a little bit more closer into the actual park itself, maybe the dogs might be coming up and rushing up to that particular dog, so it's kind of a safe barrier.
Give us some other dog park tips and etiquette.
Be aware that dogs have different play styles, so educate yourself about dog behavior. Behavior that concerns some dog owners may simply be a rambunctious play style. Always respect another dog's owner's wishes if they are not comfortable with how your dog is interacting with theirs, and simply just move to another part of the park for a while. Leash up and leave if your dog is acting in an aggressive manner or having a bad day. Children under 5 years of age are not allowed in the fenced-in off-leash area. An adult must accompany children under 12 years of age, and this is a dog park. Not all dogs are child-friendly, so never allow your child to approach or pet a strange dog without the owner's presence and approval. Your children and you always wear shoes in the dog park, so no flip-flops. We also would highly suggest keeping licenses and vaccinations up to date, because sometimes when people stand around dogs, the dogs may become protective of their people and their space, making scuffles more likely to occur.
They get to socialize, so with Yoshi, she's okay, but with Cookie, being a rescue dog and get abused before, she needs to socialize and get used to like people.
We come because most dogs need exercise, and ours have a lot of energy, so we bring them out here so they can just let it run wild.
Russ, obviously most responsible dog owners know to pick up the dog poop afterwards, but just talk a little bit about that and how that works in the dog parks.
So obviously, since many people do come to use our park, yes, it is a public park, but we do like to commit, saying help keeping our park clean, because the more clean it is, the more people may want to enjoy the park as well, and also the more clean it is, the more your dog will actually be able to enjoy it. Obviously, if you step in a particular item on the floor, obviously that's more cleanup that you'd have to do for, clean up your shoes. So again, cleanliness and also health is the most important thing when it comes to our patrons that visit any of our parks.
Perhaps a number of our parks have trails, and obviously some people, they may want to take their dog on a walk. Tell us a little bit about dog trails and hiking trails etiquette.
Well, yeah, so obviously on that aspect, that's definitely when the leash comes into play. As a safety concern and issue, we definitely say that we would have all dogs on a leash, because again, you never know who you may come across. So that's the first thing, is safety. So making sure that you do keep your dog on a leash. The second thing is obviously, the trails, it's not only good exercise for your dog, but it's also maybe great exercise for you. Just remember that the trail is shared by hikers, bikers, walkers, and other users. Bicyclists should yield to other users. Persons that are driving motorized wheelchairs do have access to certain trails throughout the parks. Keep right except to pass. So just imagine kind of like you're driving a car almost. Announce passing to other users, so this way that gives the person that may be in front of you or behind you plenty of time to respond. Moved off paved trail when stopped. And just don't litter, obviously, because again, parks, people and your pets, do share these parks. So we just want to make sure that we can keeping everything clean and neat for all of our patrons.